Hey guys, here's a quick video on how to select wood for your guitar top and your guitar bracing. So basically, here are 3 guidelines that I recommend you follow. First, choose wood that has vertical grain. Basically, you want the growth rings to be running vertically throughout your piece of wood. Second, you want tight growth rings, so basically the tighter the growth rings are between each other, the better the sound is going to come out of your instrument. That goes for the top and the braces. And also, you want to avoid knots or pith. Pith is kind of like a sapwood. So I'll switch the camera around. There we go. And I'm going to give you examples of growth rings, just so you understand. So I'm going to bring up a ruler. Now imagine this ruler is the guitar top, and the piece of wood on top here, well, that's your brace. Now if you notice, the growth rings, which are the little lines there, well, they're running pretty much straight up and down, which is excellent. That's what you want. So when your piece of wood is lying on the guitar top and you're looking at it from the end like this, well, you want those growth rings to be tight, and you want the grain to be running straight up and down like this. So this would be pretty much the ideal piece of wood. Now the top section here, you can see I split it in half. There's a bit of an angle. It's not perfectly straight. Not a huge deal, but it's better to have it like the bottom piece. So what do you do if you have a piece of wood that's, say, kind of, let's see here. There we go. You can see here, it's not, again, it's not vertical here, right? So what we can do to get around this problem is very simple, and it comes down onto how you're going to cut it on your table saw or bandsaw. I'm going to draw a line here, if I can. Kind of tricky to do behind the camera. There we go. Sorry if I went out of the frame there, but if we cut the piece of wood at an angle like I just did, well, now if I'm cutting perpendicular like this and like this, well, now you can see I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 braces, possibly more, depending on the length of the piece of wood. Like this one, I could probably get 6 pieces out of it. And as you can tell, we're respecting the grain direction. So the grain here is running up and down. And earlier on, I was talking about the growth rings. So I'll just give you an example here. Look at the difference between the distance here between the rings and then the distance at this top corner here. You can tell this is much tighter grain. So if you can find a piece of wood that has very tight grain like this, that's running straight up and down with no knots, well, you've pretty much found the perfect piece. And I don't know if I discussed the types of wood, but this is, I got this from my internship today actually for free, which is very nice. This is called BC fir. So it's a type of spruce. It's a type of spruce that grows in British Columbia. You can also use cedar, which is very nice. You can use cedar or spruce for your guitar tops. Hardwood is not as good for guitar tops because it doesn't vibrate enough. It's a bit too dense. You want a softwood. So spruce and cedar. Mahogany is passable, but I would recommend spruce or cedar. And basically, you're trying to avoid any defects. So basically, knots like this, you don't want a knot like that running through the center of your brace. Now here, I have a piece of spruce yet again, but you see that black line? And you can see it right there. This black line is called pith, and it's basically like sap, dried up sap. And you don't want this in your guitar braces. It's just going to weaken the structure. Doesn't transfer sound very well. So these are things to avoid. So just to top off, 3 things. 1, vertical growth rings. So perpendicular to your top, you want vertical grain. 2, you want the densest growth rings possible. So the tighter they are between each other, the better. And 3, you want to avoid any knots and or bug holes. Well, if you find a piece of wood with bug holes, don't use it. Honestly, it's not worth it. Just use it for your campfire or something. And avoid wood with pith or sapwood. That's pretty much all you need to know about how to select your wood. This also goes for guitar tops. If you can find wood that has the grain running vertically, tight grain, and straight grain too. Like if I'm looking at this piece of wood here, you can tell it's not really following the board. If you can find a piece of wood like this one here, from here to there, the grain is running pretty much straight across the board. So that would make for a very good guitar top. So I hope this gives you a little insight, guys, onto how to select your wood and what wood makes the best guitar tops and braces. If you have any comments, questions, feel free to leave so in the comment section below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.